All right, the real-life story of Bajrangi Bhaijaan finds an echo in real-life stories of two youth who have been stranded in Pakistan. 24-year-old Salman was left in Karachi by his parents on the insistence of his grandparents 22 years ago. Now his family is desperately trying to bring him back to India. His parents claim he is suffering from a kidney condition and requires urgent treatment. They claim they have a birth certificate and the ration card to prove that Salman is an Indian citizen. The other story is that of a girl who suffers from a speech and hearing disability. Reports say Geeta fought with her parents and left her house 15 years ago. She reportedly got onto a train and somehow landed in Pakistan. For the last 3 years, human rights activist Ansar Bernie has been trying to locate Geeta's parents.
मैं इंडिया के शहर अलीगढ़ से हूँ। वो मेरी पैदाइश इंडिया शहर अलीगढ़ की है। मेरी वालदा मेरे को यहाँ से मुझे तकरीबन मेरी उम्र 2 साल थी जब मैं यहाँ पर आया था पाकिस्तान। तो मैं बीमार हो गया था, कुछ सिलसिला ऐसा गया था, बीमार हो गया था मैं हालत ख़राब थी। तो मेरे नाना है वो इंतकाल चुका है। उन्होंने कहा बेटा बच्चा तबीयत सही नहीं है, कुछ हो जाए रास्ते के अंदर, और बच्चों को यहीं छोड़ जाओ। फिर मैं यहीं रुक गया था, फिर चली गई थी।
और 2 साल के इनके लेकर आई थी इनकी वालदा, हमने इसको रोक लिया यहाँ पे। और बच्चा यहीं पे पलता रहा हमारे पास, और मोहब्बत हो गई। नाना ने भेजा नहीं, कह नहीं बच्चों को अपने पास रखूँगा मैं। अब जब से बच्चा हमारे पास ही रह रहा है।
Well, to some extent, yes, it will help the process between the two countries. But as you well said, that the government of Pakistan has to establish first her being national of Pakistan, which they are not able to do it so far. But once done, I think Ansar Barni, if really permitted to go over there, it will help during the process of the talks between the two countries to open doors for the process of the talks between the.
Well, I feel that Ansar Barni is rightly a human activist, and he did a lot of good things for the Pakistan, like recovering the ships captured, and he can do it. But how he will do, how he will prove that she is a Pakistani, because the Foreign Office says that they don't have any proof for her that she is a Pakistani. And if she is proved to be Pakistan, then Ansar Barni must go to get her back in Pakistan.
We wrote several letters to the Indian High Commission at Islamabad, but didn't receive any reply from them. I don't know what was the reason for not replying us. I visited India in 2012, October 2012, and I tried to trace her family out from there. But now again I am coming on 2nd of September if I will get visa. And the only information that we would be able to get out is that she is belong from some place in India that is, I think that is called bus jam or bus jam or like that. The only information that we have received from her is only bus jam. District or something over in India, and Geeta was called Goody at home while she was in India.
Mr. Bani, I also want to ask you, Geeta reportedly crossed the border 15 years ago. How old was she then?
Yeah, maybe 6-7 years old.
Okay. And you're saying that she suffers from a speech and hearing disability, so she's not able to really communicate with anyone?
No. Just she told us that she is from, sounds like Basjam, B-A-S-J-A-M or B-A-S-J-H-E-M, like that. Do you have any place in India like Basjam?
I'm not aware of that, Mr. Bani. I also want to ask you one last question. Who's Geeta living with right now?
With Edith Trust, one of the trusts in Karachi.
All right, let's go across now to Hamza Amir, who's actually got us these reports from Pakistan. Hamza is with us, as well as Smita Sharma joining us from the national capital. Hamza, first over to you. Now, these are two very different stories, and particularly the first story about the boy who just stayed back in Pakistan. I really wonder whether that can actually be allowed by law. If you could just tell us a little in detail about, what is his story.
Ankit, Salman was about 2.5 years old when his parents brought him to Pakistan from Aligarh. And as soon as he came here, during their stay, he got sick. And that is why he stayed back. But then afterwards, because of the grandparents, his Nana and Nani, as he says, they said that they should keep him because they love him more, or they love him enough to actually take care of him. And they told the parents that, we'll keep him and we'll take care of him. You don't worry. And when he grows up older, we'll send him to you. This is what actually happened. This is what this Salman's family said when we spoke to him yesterday. And since then, he's been here. Now, what has been going on is that Salman has been going to school till class 9, because when it comes to the matriculation, then it's a board examination. That's when you actually put up your documents saying that you're a Pakistani national. You give them your bay form, you give them other credentials proving that you're a Pakistani or even an Indian national, whoever, but you give your proofs. This is something where he stopped basically. And that is why now after his grandfather is no more, and the grandmother is also really very old, he's basically now wanting to go back to his family, because even if she, God forbid, expires, then there will be no one to be his guardian. Before that, they were his guardian. So as per law, he will be stranded here with no identity whatsoever, and he can be used as anything, the agencies or the government might want to take him as. And that is where things are going wrong. Yesterday, when we met the family, they actually showed the ration card, they showed his birth certificate, they have that documents in hand. And it's a very genuine case in which now, after there are no guardians available for him over here, he wants to go back. Now, the problem is that this case has been is being addressed for the past 3-4 years by the family with the Indian High Commission and in the Indian side, and also from the Pakistan side. Both sides have been giving them cold shoulders. That is where they've gone wrong. And him being a genuine case who wants to go back to his family, and the family wants him to come back, only it's because of the lack of capability, or probably the interest shown by both the sides and their diplomatic embassies and consulates that he is still in Pakistan, while his sister is an Indian who's also in Pakistan right now, and she wants to ensure that as soon as she goes back now, she should be able to take him back to family.
Okay, Hamza, let's quickly go across now to Smita Sharma. Smita, there's a bit of an update at this moment on the story of Geeta, the other story that we are getting. This girl on your screen right now who is in Pakistan. She accidentally crossed over and does not know where she is from. It's quite similar to that movie, her story. We were also speaking to Ansar Birni just a short while back. Sushma Swaraj has now stepped in. She says that I have asked the Indian High Commissioner to Pakistan, Dr. TCA Raghavan, to go to Karachi with Mrs. Raghavan and meet this girl. Now that's the intervention that is being made by the Minister of External Affairs, Smita.
Well, yes, and that is in fact a welcome intervention at this point, because remember, this is not a fresh case really. It is an old case which has been pending for a while now, Sanket. And what is interesting is in October of 2012, when Ansar Birni was in India, this issue actually had surfaced in media. Even India Today's earlier avatar, Headlines Today, had actually run a special program on this, saying that how Geeta, who was all of 8 years old when she had accidentally strayed into Pakistan, and she has a couple of brothers and sisters as well, based on human rights activists' versions of their interaction with Geeta. They said that she had 7 brothers and 3 sisters, and that their house was located somewhere in Omkar in Rajasthan, near a river with a hospital and a hotel bed. So these were the descriptions that she had managed to give in. But remember, this is a girl who is, of course, deaf and dumb as well. And, so there have been interventions in the past, but it's a typical case of how bureaucracy on both sides can really move slow, especially given the fragile relations that India and Pakistan share. Just 3 days back, if you remember, there was this case of a Pakistani woman who was apparently found in Punjab without any passport, without any visa, and Pakistani authorities here had sought consular access. Now, most of the cases, depending on how the bilateral relationship is at that time, usually, they might make a move, or they might just sort of drag on this issue, saying that so-and-so person is an intelligence mole. But these are humanitarian cases, and we have seen Sushma Swaraj intervene at humanitarian levels in the past too, on individual requests, people who have reached out to her, even through social media like Twitter. So there is renewed hope now that hopefully after the Indian High Commissioner is able to travel to Karachi, we've not had a word with the High Commission yet because it was a weekend, remember, and today the High Commission has opened. They have promised to look into the files again because this is an old case and it's a new team at the High Commission, and get back to us at the earliest possible with a suitable response.
Okay, Smitha, many thanks for joining us at this moment. This is going to be one story that we'll continue to track. There is some sort of a hope for Geeta as well as Salman, as now the government seems to have stepped in.